Hi, my name's Orla, and today I'm going to be talking about Substack. So, I write on Substack, and if you don't know what Substack is, it's a platform where people can write articles. Also, a feed which is like Twitter, where people just write. People can like repost or like post short sentences and things like that. So it's usually like opinions about writing or people or whatever. So today I wanted to talk about what I write on Substack and how I write what I write. So I've written about deinstitutionalization, the defeminization of women in the military. I've also written about ants. I just sort of write about whatever I want, to be honest. But I mainly focus on history and a bit of botany, and then sometimes the two overlap. So my next Substack post, which might be out, might not, I don't think it will be when this is released, will be a brief history of women in horticulture. And yeah, so for that post, I did it like I do my other ones. I do some research, find something that I'm interested in, or if I already know about something, I'll make that the title of the piece. And then I'll do further research into the topic. So I sort of take notes, and then I go into the post and I start writing my little paragraphs about whatever the subject is. And then at the end, I always have my references for anybody who wants to do further reading or just wants to check that it's all true, I suppose. The only time I don't have references is if it's a personal piece. So there's nothing to reference. It's just like me talking about, personal experience or something like that. But for all my pieces that require research, so anything about history or, horticulture, I always make sure that I have references so people can do further reading or, check that what I've said is correct. I started writing on Substack because I started reading things on Substack. There's really good articles about a plethora of things. Some people talk about their experiences with love or, anxiety or mental health, and then there's a lot on philosophy, some things on history. There's a lot of people who do things about like media, and like online culture. So there's honestly everything on Substack. So I started reading articles and posts and things like that on Substack, and then I decided that I wanted to. Sorry, my computer's. I've got my Substack in front of me. I decided that I wanted to write because I already obviously do creative writing and publish books, but I thought it would be nice because when I'm researching topics for novels, it's nice to be able to use that research for something positive, to educate people, and it also gives me something to write about. So it's quite nice to take all these notes and then do further research and create sort of articles for other people to be able to read and learn about. So it just feels very in line with what I plan to do with my novels, especially the historical fiction. It's nice to be able to show people my research behind it or talk about things that I find interesting about the subject that might not necessarily be in my novels. Or just further reading on the topics in my historical fiction novels. So it's beneficial for me as a writer because I'm already intending on doing research, and it means that I can do more research and write more, and then for my audience. It means that they can read further into things related to history. And yeah, just if people are interested in history but might not necessarily want to buy my novels or be interested in reading novels, they can read what I've written about the topics. And yeah, it also helps me realize if it's the right time to write a novel based on that research, or if I need to do more research. One of the posts I made was about deinstitutionalization in the US, and I definitely need to do a lot more research before I get into the second draft of my novel based around deinstitutionalization, because I've got quite a good understanding of deinstitutionalization, but in doing my research I realised there's a lot more that I need to look into as well, to make the piece as accurate as possible. Also, when I've been on Substack, maybe I'm looking in the wrong places, but there's a lot about like Greek mythology / like Greek history, or like certain things like that, but there's not much about the history that I'm interested in, at least that I've been able to find on Substack. Like I said, maybe I'm looking in the wrong places. But I feel like it's sort of a niche that I'm interested in and might be interesting for other people. Just a good platform to grow my audience, write about things that I'm interested in, and it also just correlates with being an author very well as well. So yeah, so that's why I wanted to write on Substack.